There's the alligator, the crocodile, caiman, and the gharial. We have 3 out of the 4 types in here. Most of them are the American alligator. You can tell by the kind of square or rectangular shaped heads. We do have a few crocodiles in here. Like this guy up here against the glass, that's a saltwater crocodile. We have a Nile crocodile with his water down, or the tail in the water down there. We also have a slender snouted crocodile. He's kind of that real funny looking dude right over there. And then we also have one caiman. He's like just half his body in the shade there. That's Carl. Like I said, the easiest way to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile is head shape. These guys have the square, rectangular shaped heads. The crocodiles have the triangular or arrow shaped heads. There are a lot of questions associated with crocodilians. Probably the most common question we get out here is, well, which one eats people? It's a really good question, especially since I am out here. They do all eat meat, and they can be cannibalistic and eat each other, but really, they don't worry a whole lot about whether or not they eat meat. Now, this really is a matter of opportunity, one that presents itself more often like the outback or the jungle. And actually, down in Africa where the Nile crocodile is found, this guy right here, people down there have to go to the rivers and streams to get their water and wash their clothes. Which then gives a crocodile a regular opportunity to prey upon people. And as a result, it is actually said that the Nile crocodile will kill and eat more people than every other animal on that continent combined, which is kind of the best. Now, another way to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile has nothing to do with appearance is, of course, the alligators are semi-tropical, and they live where it gets cold in the winter months. Because they're cold-blooded, and their body temperature is the same as their surroundings, when they get cold, their metabolism slows down, they quit feeding, eventually they then become dormant. Crocodiles live throughout the tropics, or it's warm throughout the year, so are active in feeding year-round. Another really common question we get out here when people are looking at the animals in this exhibit is, well, are they all dead? And it's probably due to the great deal of activity you guys are witnessing out here. And our crocodilians, since they generate no body heat, they develop no nervous energy, so really these guys have no energy to waste. So if an alligator has nothing to do, that is exactly what they will do. Nothing. As you can see, they're pretty good at it. But even if these guys do have something to do, like find food, that too can be achieved by doing nothing. A crocodile or gator will lay here in the water, just their eyes above the surface, wait for an animal to come by to drink or cross a stream, then he's going to swim over and grab whatever he can get a hold of. And if the animal is small enough, he's going to go ahead and swallow a whole. If it's too large to swallow a whole, he's going to drown it, or he can then dismember it at his leisure.
Oh, that's
Are you hungry? I'll feed you later. He's like, aww. Alright. Now, these guys, like I said, they're not just limited to the one method of hunting, though. They are also effective on land. They'll sit here like you see them now and wait for an animal to get close enough, and then simply swing to the side and grab a hold of it. And they're amazingly fast and striking, as you saw there. But kind of comparatively slow when running. That being said, a 6-foot alligator can actually outrun a human for a short distance. Only problem with that is, most animals they eat are faster than humans. So again, they don't even try. They just sit here and do nothing. Now they're, like I said, amazingly quick when striking. I'll show you guys how quick they can be here in just a second. And while I'm at it, I'll kind of also demonstrate how to restrain a large alligator. So I'm almost positive that all of you guys have heard that an average person can hold this massive alligator's jaws shut with just a moderately strong pair of hands. I wouldn't go as far as to say that you can hold the world's largest alligator's jaws shut. The average person does have sufficient strength in their hands to overpower the muscles that open the jaws of a 6 or 7-foot alligator. The only problem with that is they might not sit there long enough for you to simply reach down there, grab its jaws, and hold it shut. You might reach out there, bite your hand, turn and walk off, or twist and roll away from you. So there are techniques dealing with alligators. I'll show you guys how to do that here in just a second. But the first thing we need is, in order to demonstrate this, is an alligator. I do want you guys to help me pick out which one you want to see. And so do you guys want a big one or a little one? Little. And then do you want a mean one or a nice one?
Death.
Big mean. Okay, be honest with me. How many of you guys came out here actually just to see me get bit?
Everyone else is a liar.
I'm gonna move these guys out of the way just because they like to try and eat me. Then I'm gonna go back here, get my fishing pole, and see if we can find a nice big old mean guy here. Alright. Out there. No, this one's actually the biggest one in here. Yeah, alright. Oh, this one.
Oh.
Okay.
Get over here.
Alright. We got ourselves a volunteer. And the first thing I want to do.
So you have to pull me out of bed.
Volunteer here. Kind of
He's missing some scales.
Nice and straight. And then you want to just run and jump on his back. Don't get bit. Easy as that. Nice and simple.
Help me, brother.
Before you jump, you really want to make sure this guy's all nice, lined up straight. If I was to jump him right now, he's going to meet me halfway and give me a nice little kiss here on the side of the cheek. And I don't want that to happen. So, we're going to make sure he's all nice and straightened out here. Alright.
This is like hauling around a bag of laundry.
Okay. Oh. And then, once you're here, give the alligator a moment to catch his breath. Once you're on the alligator's back, you then want to get your knees into his armpits here and your feet turned inward behind his hind legs. This will actually keep the alligator from backing up from underneath me. And there's two really, really important reasons why I don't want this alligator to back up underneath me. I'll let you guys use your imagination. Carl? So once you're here, you then want to get a hold of the alligator's jaws. This can be done by kind of placing your hands on his neck here, moving your hands up and over his jaws, forcing them shut as you go along, and then just immediately rocking back. Whew. And holding an alligator in this position will actually keep him from twisting or rolling away from you, since that is the first thing he's going to attempt to do in order to free himself. Now, when I got on this alligator, you might have noticed that I did cover up his eyes. This doesn't actually hurt the animal. And actually, we've been told that if you cover the eyes of an alligator, he's going to lie here motionless because he thinks he is dead. Now, me being the thinker out here, the real smart guy I am, I'm going to come out here and close just one eye. And is he half dead? Oh, alright. And these guys, they are amphibious reptile. They're not amphibian. Amphibian is like frog, toad, or salamander. They do spend a great deal of time in and under the water. They can hold their breath for up to several hours at a time. The length of time, of course, depends on how warm they are and how active they are. It determines how fast they use up that oxygen. These guys, they are very well adapted for an aquatic life. From the sea, I can get this guy to open his jaws, and we can get a look at one of those adaptations. Open wide. There you go. And for those of you guys up front, you'll notice that you cannot see down the alligator's throat. This is because the back of their tongue, it actually acts as a valve, so when he's in the water, he doesn't take in any water, and he can still open up his jaws. So you never see down an alligator's throat unless you catch him over here yawning or you're on the way down. There are a few other characteristics about the alligator that allow him to live an aquatic life. His nostrils are up here, are also equipped with valves that closes when he submerges in the water. His eyes are elevated on the top part of his skull. When he's in the water, just his eyes are peeking up above the surface. Now, this is a really good adaptation for hunting, but it does leave the eyes in a really vulnerable position. So, like I saw earlier, they are retractable and they can lay down flat into the alligator's skull, where they're protected by this really heavy bony ridge down here in the center. Then once this alligator opens up his eyes, you might notice that they roll. This rolling motion is actually a secondary eyelid, also known as the nictitating membrane. This membrane is basically like a built-up pair of diving goggles. They can kind of see well under the water. And then his ears are located right here behind his eyes, and are also equipped with cute little flaps that close when he submerges in the water. So, as you can tell, an alligator is very, very well adapted for an aquatic life. But the most important thing to know when on an alligator, of course, is actually how to get off. They haven't taught me to do that yet.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind cover up his eyes here, push his head down into the sand, make sure Carl's not sneaking up on me back here, and then just kind of scream and run. Just like that. All right. Woo. Okay. You might also notice that these guys' teeth, they are kind of conical in shape. They're really rounded and pointed. And the teeth of this nature are not really meant for chewing. So, like I mentioned earlier, when animals chew out just swallow whole, they're going to violently tear it to pieces. And if there are other equally hungry crocs or gators in the area, they too will grab a hold of that animal and twisting their bodies in the water, tearing up chunks of meat that are small enough to swallow whole. Now, when we feed them here, meat is cut small enough that they can swallow whole. If we were to allow them to tear it to pieces like they do in the wild, we would see a lot more injuries as they are really, really careless. Now, actually, I do have a little bit of meat here. I'm going to throw some gloves on to show you kind of how they are fed. And crocodilians, they are really, really smart animals. It doesn't take them long to figure out how to feed them at every show. It's not much longer after that they start to associate meat with food. When I first started doing shows, like 2 weeks ago, I told my bosses I didn't want a bunch of hungry crocs and gators associating meat with food. Instead, I've taught them to associate a bucket and sound signal with food instead. Of course, this is my bucket, and the sound is me banging on it with a stick. Now, I'm going to get up here to the tip of this little peninsula here and bang on it to see just what happens. And once they hear that sound, they know dinner is served. Alright. And due to the location of their eyes, these guys do have a hard time seeing anything that's not above them. So they're going to see this meat as it's flying through the air, hear it hit the ground, and after that really is just kind of a matter of feeling for it. A few more around here. You might also notice that they do kind of roll their heads to the side to pick up that meat. That's because their heads are too short, or their heads are too long, and their necks are too short for them to simply reach forward to pick up that meat. Right there. And now that chewing motion they see there is actually him moving that meat around for him to more easily swallow. It also helps to kind of get rid of some of that sand that they pick up in the midst. And some of them don't really just eat the sand. But alright, now I gotta get out of here. This is the fun part. Alright. Come on. Alright, I do. Now, because of the valve back to the throat that allows these guys to open their jaws while in the water, they cannot actually swallow anything while in the water. So they're going to locate some meat down there, and then bring their head above the surface in order to swallow it. Alright, we're going to go this way, nice and quick. I'm out here. Now, we're going to go over this side, see who's hungry over here. Come on. Who's hungry? You're hungry. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Come on, open up. Open up. Open.
Oh.
Open. Open. That's why I don't play sports. Okay. We wanted this guy in the corner. Little guy. Open up. Open up. And then you'll notice that I do only have one more piece of meat besides this one. You'll notice that not all the alligators are being fed. And like all large carnivorous reptiles, these guys can fast for an amazingly long period of time without any harmful effects. To kind of give you guys an example of just how long they can last without food, there is, in Africa, a group of Nile crocodiles that eat only one significant meal per year. That's actually when the wildebeest herds migrate through. So if somebody here is to miss a feed, they have no problem waiting a few hours for the next show. Now, that was my last piece of meat there. Yeah, right here. I'm going to go back here, throw my gloves away. Before I go away, I do have one more little surprise for you guys.
Oh no.
And, now, alligators are actually an egg-laying reptile. Females mature at like 5 feet in length, and they build their nests out of leaves and other vegetation. The female will rake that vegetation to a mound where she deposits anywhere from 12 to 60 hard-shelled eggs, about the size of a hen's egg. And since alligators don't generate any body heat, mom will not lay on that nest, because it will not aid in incubation. And instead, they're incubated by nature, and the heat from the sun will actually warm that nest to the proper degree. The mother will then guard that nest very vigorously for the 60 to 70 day incubation period. Once those babies are ready to hatch, they do emit kind of a croaking sound from inside the egg. And this sound actually triggers the mother's instinct to dig up that nest and carry the babies to the water in her mouth. Frequently, this also involves opening up those eggs. And once the babies are in the water, they're then protected by the mother for sometimes more than a year. There have been cases of mothers protecting their young for 2 consecutive years. And when this happens, she frequently has to prevent last year's clutch from eating this year's babies. Now, this guy here, this is Fluffy. Fluffy is a young American alligator. He's not quite a baby, he's 2 years old. Alligators, they come out of the egg like 6 to 8 inches. And they're fully capable of hunting on their own. Just like the adults, they'll eat anything that they can catch and kill themselves, including snails, frogs, fish, each other, stuff like that. But now, I'm going to go back here one more time. I'm going to tape up Fluffy's mouth here and meet you guys on the other end of the glass and let you guys pet Fluffy if you'd like. And, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Besides that, make sure you check out the snake shows. It'll be about 30 or 40 minutes after I'm done up here. Besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the alligator show, and thank you very much.
Right on.